So, Bhagavan said the time had come for his manifestation. Bhagavan api vishvatma bhaktanam abhayankaraha aviveshamsha bhagena manānakadundubhe. So Anakadundubhi is another name of Vasudevaji, and it is said here that the Lord first manifested in Vasudevaji's mind as a brilliant light and then entered Devakiji. Then Lord Brahma sings praises of the Supreme. When Lord Brahma learned that Devaki was bearing her 8th child, he along with Lord Shiva and all the Devas appeared before her. Brahmaji sang hymns in praise of the Lord who was in her womb. Satyavratam satyaparam trisatyam satyasya yoning nihitam cha satye satyasya satyamrita satyanetram satyatmakam tvang sharanam prapanna. So Brahmaji said, O Lord, you are the very vow of truthfulness. Verily the means to attain you is also truthfulness itself. So you are that truth which is present in all 3 periods of time. And you are the truthfulness of truth. Satyasya satyam. Your truth is your essence. Satyatmakam. So we have come to your lotus feet seeking refuge. Shrinvan grinan sangsmarayan chintayan namani rupani cha mangalani te kriyasu yastvacharanaravindayoravishtachetāna bhavāya kalpate. Lord Brahma said, the one who hears, sings, remembers and contemplates on your attributes never again returns to samsara. O Lord, please manifest soon and remove our sorrows. Then, seeing how terrified Devaki looked because Kamsa would soon find out about the birth of her 8th child, so Lord Brahma tried to reassure and comfort her. He said, what great fortune and blessings are upon you that the Supreme Lord has entered your womb. Kamsa, the head of the Bhoja clan, is now at the portals of death. So you need not fear him any longer. This child of yours will protect both you and Vasudeva and the entire Yadu dynasty. So don't worry. Saying this, Brahmaji, Lord Shiva and the Devas disappeared. Then the Lord manifests as Śrī Kṛṣṇa. A beautiful dialogue comes next, wherein time says to the Lord, Lord, everyone mocks me. They say, you can never touch the Lord, for He is beyond your 3 periods of past, present, and future. People always say such things to me. So the Lord then replied, yes, I am beyond the 3 periods of time, but now I will come under your sway. In Rama Avatara, I had manifested in the solar dynasty during the day. Now I will manifest in the lunar dynasty at night. The Lord, who is equal toward all, thus demonstrated His impartiality. The Lord said in Rama Avatara, I had come on the 9th day. So this time I will come on the 8th day. The number 9 symbolizes the whole, that is Brahman. And number 8 symbolizes Maya, that is the Lord's power. So Lord said, in Rama Avatara, I had come under the number of Brahman. So this time I will come under the number of Maya. And the number 8 symbolizes the Maya, which is the Lord's power, as we said, and the eightfold nature of the universe. And this is why Lord Krishna had 16,008 wives, and in some Puranas it is 16,108 also written. The 8 main wives were Rukmini, Satyabhama, Jambavati, Kalindi, Mitravinda, Satya, Bhadra, and Lakshmana. They represent the eightfold nature of the Lord. The Lord thus manifested on the 8th day of the month, Ashtami, and accordingly displayed many spectacular and wondrous acts of Maya in Krishna Avatara. Prakṛtiṁ svām adhiṣṭhāya sambhavāmy ātma-māyayā. So Bhagavan Śrī Kṛṣṇa himself said in Bhagavad Gītā also that keeping my eightfold nature fully under my control, I manifest through Maya. See how the Vedantic aspect, the aspect of Advaita Vedanta, is so prominent here. So it is said here, Atha sarva gunopetaha kalaha parama shobhanaha. It was the most auspicious and favorite time. The propitious stars had aligned and all the astrological houses were in their highest position. There was unbounded happiness in the air, in all directions. Ganganam Nirmaladu Ganodayam. The sky was immaculate. Nadya Prasanna Salila. All the rivers flowed with clean and clear water. The beauty of all the forests, gardens, villages, and all places on the earth intensified. The waters in all the lakes became pure and clean, and the lotuses came into full bloom. Vavau vayuhu sukhasparshaha punya gandhavaha shuchihi. A cool, soft, fragrant breeze filled with night air. The purity and beauty of all of nature is described here so vividly. When spiritual truth manifests, all the nature, meaning all your inner equipments, become pure. This is when the Lord manifests in our heart. So, as we saw earlier, the purification of Vasudeva and Devaki had already taken place. Now the beauty, glory and purity of all the creation in which the Lord would be arriving are depicted. All of nature prepared itself to welcome the Lord. The yagna fires of the Brahmins had not been fully ablaze because the asuras had refused to let them perform yagnas. Thus, instead of fire, it was always more smoke that had emerged. Now, their fires became smokeless and the flames flared up in full force. The Lord had not even manifested when kettle drums were heard in the skies. All the celestial beings, Kinnaras, Gandharvas, Siddhas, Apsaras, Vidyadharas, and Charanas began dancing in elation. All the Devas were overjoyed and showered flowers from the skies. Mandam Mandam Jaladhara Jagarjura Anusagaram. The clouds rumbled with thunder, the rains showered, and new waterfalls flowed. Then, in the dark fortnight, precisely at midnight, Lord Janardana, even as he is Sarva Guhashaya, or seated in the hearts of all, manifested from Devaki's womb. Never understand avatar to mean coming down from above. The Lord is seated in the hearts of all. So, where he already is, there he appeared. There is nothing of descending and so and so. Keep this very clear in your mind. Just as the moon rises in the east, so too did the Lord manifest in the jail cell. We see in the Rama Avatara, the Lord manifested in a palace. In Krishna Avatara, the Lord manifested in a jail at midnight in complete silence. This is why too we must observe his birth in silence so that Kamsa does not find out. Lord Rama's avatar took place at noon, so his birth is to be celebrated with grand festivity. Śrī Kṛṣṇa's birth, however, is to be observed quietly. As you see, when the spiritual awakening actually takes place in our heart, it is in complete silence. And other than you, nobody can know it. What happened? The avatar of the Lord directly in your heart in complete silence is to be observed and realized by you alone. Tamadbhutam balakama kshanam chaturbhujam shankhagadāryudāyudham श्रीवत्सलक्ष्म्यां गलशोभिकास्तुभं पीताम्बरं सान्द्रपयोदसौभगम्. So, Vasudeva ji saw before him a beautiful, wondrous child. Until now, all of Devaki's newborns had looked ordinary, but this child, however, was most enchanting. His eyes were like lotus petals. He had 4 hands, in which he held a conch, a discus, a mace, and a lotus. His chest bore the auspicious mark of Srivatsa. Gala Shobhi Kaustubham, around his neck hung the gem known as Kaustubha. He wore a yellow dhoti and was of a bluish hue, like a dark rain-bearing cloud. The Supreme Lord thus manifested there, adorned with precious ornaments, and Vasudevaji just kept looking at him in awe and amazement. Sri Shukadevaji then said, Vasudeva's heart overflowed with bliss. He knew that the birth of a child was a time to offer charity and perform meritorious acts, but he was in prison and so helpless. So he resolved in his mind to offer clothes, ornament, wealth, and everything to the Brahmins as soon as chance availed. Seeing the Supreme Lord in front of his eyes, Vasudevaji said, I know that you are beyond the entire universe, the nature of the direct experience of bliss, and the witness of all intellects. He said, you have come to shower your grace on me. You have come in this lineage in your full splendor. I know that in due time you will destroy countless asuras. When Devaki regained consciousness and saw the form of the Lord, she said with folded palms, You are he who is said to be devoid of attributes and differences. The nature of existence, consciousness, bliss, Satchidananda. You are verily that spiritual light manifest here. Fearing death, the jiva is constantly running in 10 different directions. Yet he is unable to find solace and security even in death. Only when the jiva takes a refuge at your lotus feet does he become peaceful and rest comfortably. Because then death runs far away from him. You are that Lord. See how a mother's heart is. On one hand, Devaki-ji knew that the Lord is the sovereign ruler and devoid of attributes. On the other hand, she said, Your brilliant light has spread everywhere. Please hurry and counsel it, or Kamsa will find out and come and to kill you. So please change this form immediately. Please do not show these materialistic to the materialistic people. So your form, for they will not understand. This is a mother's heart. Along with the recognition of Lord's power was this sweet admixture of motherly love. Janmate maya sau papo ma vidyan madhusudana samudvije bhavadvetoho Kangsadhamadhiradhi. So Devaki-ji said, this wicked sinner Kamsa should not come to know that you have taken birth from me. Kamsa had wanted to kill her on her wedding day. She had not even afraid at all. She didn't say a single word. She just said, I am not frightened of Kamsa for my sake, but he will kill you, and of this I am afraid. A mother's love is the most extraordinary and special. And this kind of love only some fortunate people experience. Devaki-ji said, O Lord, please change your form quickly and become an ordinary child. Aho nrilokasya vidambanam hitat. With respect to the infinite Supreme Lord playing the role of a human being, Devaki-ji said, what greater irony can there be? The Lord then replied, Mother, do you know why I have shown you this form of mine? Because in your earlier life, you were Prishni and Vasudeva was Sutapa. You both had done penance to attain me. I had deluded both of you with my Maya, so that instead of asking for moksha, you asked to have me as your son. And this is not the first, but the third time that I have come as your son. The first time I came as Prishni-garbha, that is son of Prishni. The second time I was Vamana, and this is the third time I had shown you this form to remind you of your earlier lives and my avatars in them. Yuvang mang putra bhavena brahma bhavena cha sakrita Chintayanta kruta sneha yasyete madgating param. So addressing both of them, the Lord then advised, you may love me like a son, but also contemplate on me as Brahman, and by doing so, both of you will attain liberation. The quite essential statement made here is that neither of the two parents had sought to have the Lord as a son, but the Lord had wanted them to become his mother and father. So both of them had been performing austerities to attain liberation, but the Lord had turned their minds when they were asking for a boon. So, though Prishni and Sutapa had not desired to have the Lord as their child, the Lord had wanted to be their son and experience the joy. Otherwise, somewhere, someone or the other is always going to him, putting garlands on him, offering salutations to him. This is difficult, isn't it? Would it feel good to keep bearing pleas from every side all the time? So, here we see the Lord likes being mischievous, and occasionally he even likes being reprimanded, which is why he came as Yashoda's son. After the Lord has taken birth, he is now taken to Gokula. Even as they were gazing at the Lord, Vasudeva and Devaki-ji then saw him assume the normal form of a newborn. The Lord said, now put me into a basket and quickly take me to the Gokula. The word Gokula means where families of cows reside. Another meaning of Gokula is family of sense organs. The word Go refers to the sense organs. The word takes avatar, meaning he manifests in an assemblage of body, sense organs, pranas, and intellect. When it is said that the Lord is beyond the body, sense organs, mind, and intellect, does it mean he is not in them? If he is beyond or outside of them, then who is inside? Who is his replacement? Who is seated in our sense organs? Who is seated in our mind and intellect? So the Lord is within all beings, seated in the cave of the intellect. Atraiva sattvatmani dhi guhayam. So, here we see the Lord is going to Gokula. Now, see, the Lord's lineage is untraceable. Though he is beyond caste, creed, family, clan, and stages of life, he manifested in a dynasty of Kshatriyas and then went to Gokul to live in a family of Vaishyas. Now, Bhagavan says in Gita that those who are skilled in cultivation, cattle rearing, business, trade, and industry are known as Vaishyas. Krishi Gaurakshang Vanijyang Vaishyakarma Svabhavajam. So, Nanda Baba and the Gopas, the village men of Gokula, were all merchants or Vaishyas. So, what can we consider Bhagavan as? Brahmin, Kshatriya, or Vaishya? So, he was born in a family of Kshatriyas but raised by a family of Vaishyas. He was born as the son of Vasudeva and Devaki, but he gave the joy and play of his entire childhood to Nanda and Yashoda. What did the Lord indicate by this? For anyone who considers the Lord as their son, he verily becomes their son. No one needs to wonder, when will I get a chance? When will the Lord come as my son? Where is this question? You just love him as your son now itself, and he will come to you. He will even sit in front of you and ask you for butter. Try and you will see for yourself. What is meant here is that not only does the Lord come as the son of those who are instruments for his manifestation, but as the son of all those who hold the intense longing to behold him as their son. So the Lord told Vasudeva to take him to Gokul, and Vasudeva ji then said, Maharaja, I can take you, but all the doors are locked and all the guards are sleeping. The Lord told him, just do as I say. As soon as the Lord took the form of a newborn, Vasudeva ji placed him in a basket. And as soon as it did, all the doors of the jail miraculously opened. By the Lord's Maya, all the guards were comfortably snoring. Naturally, when Brahman manifests, all the doors, inner and outer, will open. What else is the purpose of the Lord's advent but to open the doors of moksha for us, complete liberation? Brahman manifested, so all the doors opened and all the asuras fell into a deep sleep. So Vasudeva ji walked out and kept walking, carrying this precious baby. As Vasudeva ji left, it began to drizzle. The drizzle soon turned into a heavy downpour. Lord Shesha manifested and spread his wood to provide cover for the Lord. When Vasudeva ji entered the Yamuna river to cross over to Gokula, the waters began to rise. The waters reached his waist, then his chest, then his shoulders, and then his neck. Vasudeva ji still kept walking. What faith! This is because the Lord was on top of his head. Vasudeva chalat Gokula वासुदेव चलत गोकुल वासुदेव चलत गोकुल गरज गरज अत बरसत गरज गरज अत बरसत घन घोर वासुदेव चलत गोकुल वासुदेव चलत गोकुल. At first, the Lord wondered why Yamunaji was rising so fast and thought, if she continues to rise like this, she will drown my father. He then understood that she wanted to touch his feet. So, somehow stretching his tiny foot out of the basket, the Lord touched Yamunaji's water with it. The moment she felt his touch, Yamunaji said, "This is my Lord," and immediately lowered her waters to normal. Then Vasudevaji made his way across safely. When he reached the other side, all the Gokula was asleep. Yashodaji had given birth around the same time in Gokula. The Lord's Maya had deluded her, and as a result, she had fallen asleep from exhaustion. It is said Yashoda had fallen asleep without knowing whether she had given birth to a boy or a girl. Vasudevaji went near her to where her baby, the Lord's Yogamaya, lay. Vasudevaji placed his little boy on the bed and took Maya back with him to the prison. The moment Maya entered the jail cell in Mathura, the doors automatically closed and locked. When Brahman came, the doors opened. When Maya came, they closed and locked. Maya knows well how to delude. She began crying so loudly that all the guards awoke. Realizing that they have fallen asleep, the panic-stricken guards immediately ran to give their king Kamsa the news of the baby's birth. Kamsa had been restless and sleep deprived for a long time. As soon as he heard that the 8th child had been born, he rushed to the prison. Devakiji told him this child was a girl, not a boy. She requested him not to kill an innocent girl, but he would not hear of it. He said, "Whether boy or girl, it does not matter. I do not trust or understand your Maya. Who knows when this girl will suddenly turn into a boy?" Kamsa was so unnerved and fearful, and he grabbed the baby by her feet, spun her around, and flung her to smash her against a rock. But do you think that Maya could ever come into the hands of a Rakshasa? She slipped out of his hands and appeared in an 8-armed form of Divine Mother. King maya hataya manda jatah khalu tavantakrit yatra kvava purva shatrur mahimsihi krupanan vritha. She said, "You fool, what can you ever do to me? The cause of your death has already taken birth. Now stop killing innocent children in vain." Saying this, she disappeared. What was the need for her to say anything like this? She could have kept quiet, but she spoke to Kamsa to intensify the fear already in his mind. Where that 8th child was, she did not say, and as a result, Kamsa's unrest grew even worse.